10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6.
Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the rocket pool community. My name is Wack. Today is June 15th, and we've got a quick episode for you all, so let's get started with that. The first thing we're starting with is this update from the Rocket Pool account. There was a community call today. It was just Jasper and Mav who took part because the guests who were supposed to be hot protocol had some issues and they were not able to join. So in the tweet it says, the new time for this week's Rocket Pool community call is midnight UTC. Tune into the Twitter space below to hear from Jasper and Mav as they discuss all the latest news from the ever-growing Rocket Pool ecosystem. Oh my, like, is it ever growing? So the topics covered were Jasper's podcast that I'm going to be talking about later, a whole lot of talk about LST collateralized stablecoins. There's a lot of talk about how there's kind of like two flavors right now, and the first one being forks of liquidity like Gravita and Prisma, and then there's another flavor being forks of Rye, stuff like High there as well. So there's a whole lot of LST stablecoins that are coming out right now, and it's a really exciting time for that aspect of DeFi. The issue is, however, that you run into this problem, right, where you have all these different kinds of stablecoins and they are fragmented liquidity. I don't know how it's going to work out in terms of any of them winning or any of them reaching like big market caps. However, they're like really nice experiments, and I think even at small to medium market caps, they can be quite useful for certain kinds of users. So that was really cool, and of course rETH is being integrated with all of those. Okay, and on top of that, there was talk about the client diversity campaign that was being run by Schifrin and others, and how there's pop-ups available for that, how there's amazing prizes available for that on the raffle, which is really cool. They gave a lovely shout out to me and my 200th episode raffle. The numbers on that are looking really good, by the way. I think there's going to be like 20 or 30 prizes of like pretty much $100 each, and there's only like 70 or 80 people that are in there, so your chances of winning $100 are really, really good. It's a $5 ticket, so it's really cool. I actually extended the number of POAPs, the tickets available, so 100 of them were minted, and now I requested another 100 mint tokens. They should go live either tonight or tomorrow, so if you don't have a POAP for the ticket for the raffle yet, make sure you get a hold of that ASAP. The raffle itself will be next week, so you've got a few days yet. Okay, on top of that, then they talked about the Index Co-op. I'm not sure what the name is. Jasper's calling it Index Coup. Their rETH vote passed, so they'll be integrating it. Jasper was mentioning that they're looking for seed funding, so if any whales want to get involved with leveraged rETH holding, then definitely reach out to the Index Co-op team, or I guess Jasper can put you in touch with them as well. Aura are moving from their older pools to newer pools, so if you are providing liquidity on Aura, then make sure that you have a quick look at that, because you'll have to move your liquidity over if you haven't done so already. And if you do move it as well, then there's some boosted APRs available on different pairs, so make sure you give a look at that as well. Morpho went live, that we covered on Rocket Fuel a few days ago, and they were talking, Jasper and Mav were talking about that. And then there was it was a really good community call, and there was a lot of really good information in there, and they finished up the call with talking about Balancer being on Polygon's ZKVM. So it was a great call. It was a quick call. It was about an hour, so 52 minutes. So give it a listen if you are interested in that. It's full of really good information. Okay, next, Object put out this information in trading today, saying that he listened to the Holesky, Patches, I know I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong, Holesky coordination call a couple of hours ago, and he was wondering if anyone in the Rocket Pool community would commit to running some Genesis validators for the testnet. And Object was saying that this obviously comes with a bunch of responsibilities, so there would be relatively high requirements if you want to participate. and Object was saying my goal would be 10 individuals running 5,000 validators on each machine. So they want to commit to running 50,000 Genesis validators. If anyone is interested, please make a thread out of this message where we can discuss this further. So Patches, of course, made a thread of that message, and you can see that here, like people started talking about how it would go and what the requirements are, and how you need amazing internet. And also, yeah, here's the main thing though. But Object said brainstorming requirements for running a Genesis validator machine. It's 3 to 5 year commitment, so you should be prepared to run the node this long, or be prepared to pass it on if you no longer can. Simply walking away is not an option, because you'll degrade the quality of the testnet. Patches went on to say, if you have a NUC or dedicated server, ROC 5 strong enough, maybe not just for this purpose, a good internet connection, at least 50 meg up and down if you're hosting from home, and some technical / Linux skills, this won't be as easy as running a Rocket Pool node. And then soft requirements are be well-known, dependable member of the Rocket Pool community, have some experience, proof that you're able to run validators with high effectiveness. And Object says, am I missing anything? And Invis says, should be easily reachable in case involvement by the team clients is required. Should regularly make sure the validators use the latest client releases available or recommended by the client teams. And then Patches was saying as well that it might not be worth it to run from home, because Patches is, full disclosure, I'll probably run it in a New York City area data center. He says from home is not an option. So it might be that it might not be an option for you, but this is a really like active thread where a lot of the people that you'd kind of expect to be in this thread would be in this thread. There's Buddha talking here, Patches, of course, Object, Invis, and non-fungible Yoakum, I think, checked in, and then there's Chaos, Lee, and the thing that would stop me from doing this is the Linux experience. But there's people here that, and Patches was clarifying that the from home aspect was for him personally, not for anyone. Vaka here says, if my Proteus server clears customs, I'll be up for this. And then I think Pteris, I was waiting to see if Pteris was there. He thinks I want to have more validators to be able to stress test the chain. So these are all people who I think would do an amazing job of running those Holesky validators. Of course, for those of you who don't know, let me see, there's a chart here that shows you about like the Ethereum testnet cycle. So here it is, Invis shared it earlier. So from end of 2018, 2019 to 2023, there's Goalie that's running from 2020 to 2026. There's Sepolia, and then from 2022 to 2028, there's Holesky. So it's a long commitment, but if it's something that you're interested in, it's definitely really exciting. And like I said, I would do it, but I don't think I have the technical skills to do it. If any of you all are listening to this call, and if you think you can help me with that, definitely hit me up, because it's something I'd love to do. Okay, moving on now. We've got some news out of Arbitrum today, where there was a vote going on to add rETH to Arbitrum version 3 on Aave, and we've talked about this before on Rocket Fuel about having the lending borrowing markets available on layer 2s is crucial. Mark Zeller, when he was on Rocket Fuel, talked about this as well, about how he wants Aave services to be available to as many people as possible and accessible as possible, and how mainnet is really difficult for that. Well, this vote has gone through. It's reached quorum today. There was 567,000 yes votes, and there was one no vote. so even less than one Aave token voted no. So this vote has passed, which is really amazing. It is not E mode. It's just the loan to value ratio will be 67%. So it's not E mode by any stretch. But you can still like loop that a couple of times, I think, and up your profits. But if you are into that, but this was passed, so that's really exciting to see that the integrations with Aave are continuing strongly. It's wonderful. Okay, next we had this thread from MakerDAO on Twitter, talking about rETH coming to Spark. So for those of you who don't know, Spark is kind of like a cousin protocol, I guess, built on top of Maker, and it says here that rETH, Rocket Pool staked ETH, is being onboarded to Spark protocol as new collateral. As per the latest executive vote, rETH holders will be able to leverage their holdings by borrowing DAI at the best rates on app.sparkprotocol.io. And this is important to note that Spark protocol debt ceiling is being raised from 5 million DAI to 20 million DAI. This expansion allows for some additional 15 million DAI of liquidity to be borrowed from Spark's lending platform. So this is really cool to see that, they're really helping the rETH integration grow and rapidly expand from what it was. So that's really exciting to see. dpeg.eth says, can you get liquidity? Yes, you can get liquidity depending on what your loan to value ratio you set it at and how the price of ETH and rETH moves in the market. But what's really great here is that these DeFi protocols are going above and beyond now, integrating rETH. It's really strange because it was just over a year ago, like last March, where we got our first DeFi integration, which was getting put on the rETH WST ETH pair on Curve, and that was incentivized at the time by Tetranode. That was rETH's first DeFi integration. Thinking back then, it felt almost impossible to think of all the integrations we have now. It's really amazing that rETH has become such a fundamental piece of DeFi Lego, and it's being implemented, it's being added everywhere. Anyone with any protocol with any kind of self-respect is adding rETH, and that is wonderful. Okay, finally I'm going to finish up with this piece of information from Strange Water podcast. So this is a podcast that is run by Solomon Crypto, who is goes by Rex, but it's Haim Solomon. So Rex here had Jasper from the Rocket Pool community, and who I give shout outs to all the time on this show. He had Jasper on his show for an interview about staking and life basically. I listened to half of it, but it was really nice that Jasper said that if you listen to his Launchpad episode with me, this is kind of like a continuation from there, and an update 6 months later, I think, or 7 months later, update of Jasper's life and his opinions on DeFi and the path his life is taking. So here Rex said, join Jasper and Solomon Crypto for a deep conversation on building the world computer, decentralized staking, Rocket Pool, and finding your purpose on this strange planet. Strange Water is primarily a podcast, though video will be included when possible. Subscribe, follow, and tune in every Thursday for a new conversation with a builder, investor, and or believer in Ethereum and blockchain technology. So this was really lovely lovely bit of information that came out here from Rex. And Jasper was fantastic. He's a natural. He's been in a bunch of these podcasts now, and every time he's smart, he's articulate, he's engaging, and he is really pleasant guest and really fun guest. I think I had an absolute blast talking to Jasper on Rocket Fuel on Launchpad, all those months ago, and now he's really gaining that prominence in wider communities. So congrats to Jasper, and really great job from Rex. So on that note, I'm going to end today's episode. Going back to that raffle thing I was mentioning earlier, there's 100 more POAPs available. Like I said, the price to cost ratio is ridiculously amazing right now. I'm going to put some information out tomorrow or this weekend about how many prizes there will be and what they'll look like. So I think even if you don't support Rocket Fuel, it might be worth it for you to buy a ticket to play the lottery. But it's not lottery, it's just a fun community celebration, and all the prizes are donations, either from myself or from others, and it'll be lovely if more and more people took part. So thank you all for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.